start this. I have Daniel over here, and then you said you wanted Fred if there's time. Let's go ahead and just skim through both of these. Okay, Fred tells me he tells me, Fred seems like he's a little bit of the older one, and maybe we have a shirt in honor of his memory too. But Daniel tells me he had an inability to communicate. We didn't get a chance to say goodbye. I feel like I have a hard time breathing. I need to clear my throat. Maybe I feel like he passed before his time. Takes responsibility for how we end up happening. He says to me, it just really came out of nowhere. It just really played out that way. Okay, and then Daniel talks about how like we're choosing to honor his memory, how maybe the community gets together, or it's like where he's laid to rest, or how some people have like little signs on the side of the road or something, like he was, or maybe a nice celebration of life. It's just a way he was memorialized, okay, that he keeps talking about. He's like, I just feel so special the way you guys chose to do that. Oops, I'm like barely even writing this in camera view. Um, and then yeah, he's just like, at his gravesite. We always go to visit him on his anniversaries at his gravesites. I ask him how he ends up passing, and he just kind of makes me feel like, it just kind of like the world gets the best of me. The world got the best of me. It almost seems like an accident, or like at the point he died, he could not catch a break. That's what it feels like to channel Daniel. And he's got this poofy hair, whether it sticks out from under a hat or it's got a little curl or fluff to it, I can feel it. Good heart, misunderstood. How'd he pass? Definitely, he caught COVID and passed. Oh my god, it came out of nowhere. Oh, it came out of nowhere and it played out that way. He said that he knew about COVID. He was potentially around people that had COVID and just didn't take it super seriously. And then he says, so this is just an analogy, but he's talking to me about getting COVID, and then he gets a little bit of it and blah, 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 blah. And then we just like pull out a cork and liquids drain. So everything turned to liquid, like, oh, we just have a common cold. Now I'm going to just crap myself till I am dehydrated as hell. Hi, Jackie Bruce. And so you're like, definitely, he caught COVID and passed, and my auntie caught it, and she brought it home. And like, yeah, and we and I'm not blaming anybody, and neither is he, because he's completely crossed over, but he says he's okay. He said it came out of nowhere. Somebody that brought it home probably takes responsibility for doing this, and he just said he was fine for like the first even 3 days of COVID, and then his body kind of just like either filled with liquid or turned to liquid, like it just flushed itself out. It just like dissolved. It was just weird. I don't know why he keeps saying this, but it was a chemical. It was a chemical. She beats herself up every single day. His body shut down. Did he get the vaccine? Out of pure curiosity. Yeah, it felt like almost a chemical reaction inside of his body. He didn't like needles, right? Me neither. No way. I never get the flu shot. Never, never, never. So, anywho, he just talks about this chemical reaction. He makes me, there's a reason we can't talk about it on the internet. He just makes me feel like, there's a cold, and then there's a manufactured cold. Anyway, so it just like he's just talking about more into that we're not allowed to, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so love that we were able to connect to him. Let's talk about this Fred person really quick. I'm talking about a different concept, and we can't talk about certain things on the internet, you know. Anyway, so now let's talk to Fred a little bit. I feel like somebody still has clothes in honor of Fred, okay? I think someone still has a shirt in honor of Fred's memory. I think Fred ended up passing medical. I think he goes pretty common, probably a heart attack. I was like, okay, probably a heart attack, or like, what's happening here? But it wouldn't have been his first one. He says if it's a heart attack, it's like, yes, we have memorial shirts. I love this. I don't know what he passed from, but it's something that it wouldn't be his first round of it. If it's a heart attack, it wasn't his first heart attack. If it was getting sick, it wasn't the first getting sick, you know? And I love that you have memorial shirts. This is good stuff. I like how both of them came through and started identifying memorial things. Woo-wee! So, how did I say he ended up passing? Was he drinking? He's like kind of happy-go-lucky guy. Oh yeah, heart attack, heart attack, heart attack. It wouldn't have been the first time. Okay, maybe he's like emotional and has lots of emotional turbulence. Here's the thing: when you said that, okay, when you said that, when you said something and then I was like, does he drink? He kind of makes me feel like he's a happy drunk and everything's really happy. Oh no, watch this. Oh, I got this. Or oh, I'm going to do it. It was like a pure drunk moment, to be honest with you. Kind of like wasn't even within himself. So am I saying, you know, and could a couple drunk people be doing something stupid? Sure. I think that's kind of totally possible, you know. But at the end of the day, I think that we were kind of in a different mindset. Were we intentionally like hurting ourselves? No, but were we gonna make something and try this and look at that? Oh, look at this. Oh, I'm gonna put my head through this. Oh, so was it all kind of dumb and it was very out of body. Because listen, the only thing he really has to take partial responsibility for is the drinking. And I think he was a happy drunk, you know. They're saying someone did it to him and made it look like he hung himself. So he could have potentially had a friend with who he was also drinking with, and like two people, because he did mention that there could have been someone with him. But if you're from your perspective, you'd be like, oh, look at this. Oh, we could do that. Oh, let's put our head in here. And then maybe somebody give you a push. The only thing he just told me, he goes, I've known him for a long time. That's exactly how he talks. No, I've known him for a long time. So if he had a male buddy that he was drinking with, having a couple beers, middle of the day, no, probably like dinner time, evening. Anyways, so middle of the time, and had that one buddy, I could see it, but I think he was too intoxicated to see it. You know what I'm saying? He genuinely thinks, drunk or not, oh, I'm gonna put my head in here. Oh, that's dumb. You know? But he doesn't blame anybody else, and I could see two drunk people, blah, 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 blah. I cannot necessarily, he's really transitioned, and that just doesn't happen like that with murder. So, I think two drunk people made a mistake. At worst case scenario, do I think that people should be held accountable if they take other lives? Sure. Am I the justice system? No. His little brother, Pat, just passed away the same way. Pat wasn't with him, was he?